Hello, I'm Evan Norman. I'm a designer at Vizrt, and I'm going to show a little bit about this Opus graphic design today. This video is intended for people that know this artist and know how to work with video in this artist. So this Opus is using one Viz engine, and it's not using any other Viz engine. Everything that is done with a Viz Opus production needs to happen within one Viz engine. And as we know, in Viz engine we have 3 layers. So if I open up here, we see we have a back layer and a front layer and a middle layer. And we provide some default scenes that comes together with the Viz Opus installation, and this you find in the catalog Vizrt, Viz Opus, and control scenes. There is something called a switcher scene, and this one we can load into the back layer. So actually, if I clean out all the other layers first here, now there's nothing here. You see I take the switcher scene into the back layer, and it automatically loads something into the front layer, and that is actually the video effects that runs in the front layer. So this is the basic division of the usage of the Viz engine. The back layer runs a switcher scene, which is switching between live sources, clip sources, streams, and so on. Then you have the middle layer, which runs the graphics, so to say, full screen graphics, lower thirds, and so on. And the front layer is reserved for video effects. This means that the videos that, no, the graphics that you are going to create needs to use only the middle layer. That is the only thing that is available. Let's first open up the switcher scene and take a look at that first. It looks like this. It's basically a bunch of rectangles filling the whole screen. And there are video clips, for example. They are vertex mapped and clamped. They stretch out all the way to the corner. Please also see here that the icons here are orange. They should be orange if they are functional. And gray, that means that you are either not licensed or they are not enabled, or your Matrox card may not support it. Of course, now there's a change from the XMEO 2 to the XMEO 3. Which and the XMEO 3 will give you more inputs with regard to this. If I go to my configuration settings, you see I also enabled Live 1 and Live 2, and depending on what hardware you have and so on, you can also enable more of these. The switcher scene switches between this, and this is basically controlled from the Viz Opus system directly. So there is a very important script in this, and that script is here. If I go to scene settings and I go to script, you find this script here. And there's one important thing all the way down here, DVE or texture. So that is something you need to consider for your project if you are going to use texture or DVE. And both of these have their own merits. Texture is definitively easier to work with design-wise, and you can do a lot more with it. In the design, DVE probably maybe a shorter delay and yeah, things are changing with regards to this. So some years ago, texture was not possible to use very much. You had to rely on DVE. Now there are much more things that can be done with texture. But I have set this default project up with texture. So this is the switcher scene. Normally, you never have to go in and do anything with the switcher scene. Of course, you can go in and look at it. Always remember to have a backup of this scene, because if this one is changed in the wrong way, things will not work. So keep a copy of the switcher scene. You see in the same folder there are also some effects. And these effects are basically loaded from the back layer. We can see if we go here, yeah, here are some effects, and these are also possible for people to edit and make up their own graphics design for, and so on. And you can basically just study this scene to see how they are done. Of course, again here there are some scripts, and these scripts are talking to the switcher scene with some shared memory. That's the way the video scripts are communicated between all the layers. Okay, let me just take out this one. So the switcher scene is always in the background, and you don't need to design anything on that one. So with Vizrt Opus there is delivered a default set of scenes that can be used, or typically you would kind of rebrand it, or you will do some quick rebranding, throwing in some new textures and your own colors and logos and so on. So let me open up the default scene. This is of course a transition logic set, and I don't think it is you know, you will have to have a transition logic set to run in the mid layer in order to be able to run all the different stuff, because in the mid layer you need to run the lower thirds, the full screen graphics, butterflies, and so on. All need to fit into the mid layer. So this transition logic set is just as any other transition logic set with just one difference, and that difference is on the full screen layer where we are making some videos. So let's go and open up that. On top here you see some color transitions. That is for some quick rebranding of the scenes. But let me go into the full screen layer. So if we go into this one, we see there are different views of video. So this is actually a video, and this is a video. And from Vizrt Opus, you are able to control which source to put into this video. So if we see here, this state is called SB, means small and big. And then it maybe transforms into this one, which have a 169 on this side and a portrait video on this side. And that state is called PB, portrait, and big, and so on. So you see, these are just rectangles again. And it's a rectangle with a video, a clip channel I put on, but actually that will change according to a script. So if you want to build your own graphic designs and have video that is controlled from the back layer, from the switcher, when the Vizrt Opus tells the switcher scene, now there should be this and this clip on that channel, or now there should be this and this live source on a channel. It is actually this script here that is transferring that that information into this container. So basically, if you take one of these containers and dump it into your own design, that should be sufficient for controlling video in your scene. And all the other things inside this set is actually just regular Vizrt graphic design, scene design. But remember, you need to be able to run various different graphics on in the same layer. So here you see, for example, a video state like this. And I can, for example, go in and I can take in a lower third that is fitting into this, and so on. You have the other things like, yeah, you have an icon up here. This can be filled with an icon. You have a clock layer there, and let me take in again the lower, and so on. And you have, for example, a yeah. Let me then take out again the full screen for a moment. So, like this, and then, for example, take in a live. Live will come in here. That will not show up before you have filled out the branch scene. And there is a logo thing, and there is an OTS, and so on, all fitting together. And this is basically a starting point. You can use these scenes if you like, but you can also very easily rebrand them with your own textures and colors and fit them to your needs. So that was basically a summary of graphic design for Vizrt Opus. What is different from graphic design with a regular Vizrt package is only that everything needs to run on one machine. The back layer is filled with the switcher scene. The switcher scene is controlling the videos in the back layer, but it's also controlling the videos in the mid layer. So on the containers we had for the butterfly, there were some scripts. Let me see. Yeah, so if you see this, for example, now this is this window, first window, second window, third window, and second window, and so on. They are controlled from shared memory from the switcher scene behind there. And the front layer is always reserved for video effects. So this means everything you have of graphics, other graphics, needs to fit into a transition logic set that fits into the middle layer of this artist.